Babe, I'm worried we're going to have to change some of this video content we've been putting out on the channel.
Why?
Well, I mean, we're losing subscribers.
I don't want to change anything. I really feel like God's using this stuff.
You think we need to keep talking about sex?
Those people don't like to hear about it. They don't have to watch the videos.
There goes another one. You sure?
You know what I got to say about that?
What?
Another one bites the dust. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You are watching Toops Time and I'm Cody.
And I am Jessie. On today's video, we are telling you exactly why we choose to talk about the so-called awkward subject of sex on our Christian YouTube channel.
Most Christians do not feel comfortable speaking about such subjects, so why in the world would we want to make other Christians feel so uncomfortable?
Well, like we have said in a previous video, Jesus did not come to this earth to make us feel comfortable.
Nope, his life was full of trials, and the people that followed him during his time on earth were ridiculed and even martyred.
And not to mention, his death is probably one of the most brutal, uncomfortable ways that anyone can die.
So honestly, we are not here on Toops Time to make anyone feel comfortable at all. That's not our goal.
No, we are here to share the gospel on tough subjects.
Subjects that, due to their nature and upsetting people, the church has failed to talk about, at least very often.
Yeah, leaving Christians, especially young Christians, lost and looking for answers in all the wrong places. Cue the world. Media. It's everywhere. Because of this, the secular worldview of low body image and meaningless sex has infiltrated into most Christian ideologies today.
And this has led to some pretty hard to accept statistics. Here are just a few of them.
If you would like to see more on these statistics and where they came from, then there's going to be links in the description provided.
77% of Christian men between 18 and 30 view pornography, and they do it at least monthly, and 36% of those men view it daily.
That was Christian
men.
55% of married Christian men view pornography at least monthly, and 35% have had an affair on their wives. 35%.
And remember, we're talking about Christians. These are stats on just Christians. So you guys may have noticed that that's already twice in a row that I've put Christian men in quotations. You may be wondering why it is that I'm doing that, and that is a conversation for another day. But essentially, if someone is living in this type of perpetual sin with no conviction at all about what it is that they're doing, there's a great possibility that they are not even Christians and never were of the faith. Again, conversation for another day. But they are, in this sense, proclaiming to be Christians. Therefore, they did fit in this statistic.
So with those statistics on pornography, you would assume that churches would have programs for dealing with and overcoming porn addictions.
And not to say that no churches do. There are lots of good churches out there, but we are talking about the vast majority. Especially a lot of the highly televised churches.
Yes, and even some of these statistics say otherwise. They say that they just don't have a program for this type of thing. Only 7% of pastors actually say their church has a program to help people struggling with pornography. Honestly, after I was looking through a lot of these statistics, a lot of pastors struggle with pornography usage as well. They're people. So we need to address this.
We all fall short. It doesn't matter what status you have and what position you're in. You are always vulnerable to sin.
Moving on from pornography, if you're not already super uncomfortable.
More statistics. We're going to be talking about abortion in these. So 7 in 10 women who have had an abortion identify as being Christian. That word doesn't seem to mean a whole lot after reading these statistics.
You're talking about Christians that believe thou shalt not murder has an abortion.
The sanctity of life.
At the time of these women's first abortions, 36% of them reported that they were attending church at least once a month or more, including 6% who were attending more than once a week, 20% attending once a week. So these women, they're in church, but they see nothing wrong with abortion. The sad part is that they're going to church, and many of these women actually said they knew that they didn't even agree with abortion, but they had no one else to talk about, and they were so worried about judgment in the church by other Christians that they decided to go against what they even believe.
So let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about cohabitation, also known as living together as Christians before marriage.
Yeah, according to one study in the 1960s, about 5% of newlyweds cohabited before marriage. From 1960 to 2010, it was reported that more than 70% of newlyweds moved in together before marriage. That's a ginormous increase. What are the churches missing? The Bible hasn't changed.
What has cohabitation kind of helped spark? And that's divorce rates. So divorce rates in the Christian home, according to data from the Center of Disease Control, approximately 25% of Christians divorced in 2016 alone.
This statistic reflects a 5% increase over previous years and suggests Christian divorce rates are continuing to rise.
There are so many more stats that we could talk about other than just these, but these are the ones that we're going to mention in today's video to keep it brief.
Yeah, they're just devastating, honestly, to look at. What these numbers reveal to us is that the Christian worldview is starting to look almost identical to the secular worldview. And it also reflects that the church has taken a step back against talking about these real life issues.
What is so sad to reflect on is that Christians have such a low image of their own bodies and the value of life and love that they are making life-altering decisions such as sex with multiple partners before marriage, abortion, and divorce in no different ways than individuals that have no religious beliefs at all.
You could say that there is a lot of confusion around this subject.
All right.
Honestly, we truly feel called by God to use this channel to help Christians realize what their body is worth to God and live a life that reflects God's design for sex and marriage.
I love how you talk.
Nah.
So emotional.
I am.
So far, if you like what you are hearing on today's video, then subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell where you will not miss out on any of the videos that we drop. If you guys do enjoy this content that we release and you would like to support us so that we can continue to set aside the time that we need to do the research and put out these videos for you guys, check this out. Hey guys and gals, if you enjoy our content and would like to support our mission to spread the gospel of Christ through biblical teachings and faithful living, click the link in the description to donate through our Patreon account. We are working on ideas to provide additional tiers and bonus content for you there, but these things take time, so if you can, please show us some support so that we can dedicate more of our time to you guys. Now, back to the show.
We believe that as a Christian, if you have a strong foundational understanding of what God intends for sex and marriage, then you will ultimately have a Christ-centered marriage that is filled with no regret, guilt-free sex, just as God intended for you.
I like the way that sounds. And you will be so in tune with God because it will be revealed to you the great mystery of God's love through becoming one flesh with your spouse.
Yes, just like it says in Ephesians 5:31, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and the two shall become one flesh. This mystery is profound, and I am saying that it refers to Christ and the church.
As you can see right there in the scripture, having sex, becoming one flesh with someone, is not meaningless at all. If it is done exactly the way God intended, it reveals to you the profound mystery of Christ and the church.
Yes, sex and marriage is the only act that directly symbolizes Christ's love for us in the church. And if you do it all right, then your marriage will look different than any non-believer's marriage, and it can be one of your greatest testaments of God's love and can ultimately lead others to Christ.
So yes, we do think it is important to talk about sex. on this channel, we think it is important to talk about sex in the home. We make it a really big deal.
Yes. Does us talking about this subject come with pushback? Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Due to us putting out frequent videos on this subject, we have lost friends because this subject makes them feel uncomfortable to hear about.
We have had family say that they will not watch our videos because of what we talk about, like it's some disgusting subject or something. But it just goes to show that the world has tainted an amazing thing that God has given us.
Yeah, sex.
Right.
But it's so sad. You can't even say that word without uncomfortable feeling in the room when you're talking about it. So much so that just the mention of this word usually makes people feel dirty and ashamed. Try talking about it in church. See what's
right.
You'll quickly see what we mean.
Yeah, you'll hear crickets and a pin drop.
Yeah, over here, Pastor. I've got a quick question about sex.
Well, that's what we are doing here. We are here to change that. We're in the process of creating an online course where we actually mentor Christian singles, engaged couples, or dating to marry Christian couples eagerly striving to live a life of sexual purity.
Yes, we help them overcome sexual fears, temptation, and immorality and come out victorious while making it to their wedding night celibate and ultimately cultivating a Christ-centered marriage filled with no regret, guilt-free sex.
Just as God intended.
A marriage that stands out from the world. This is a premarital course that we wish we would have had. It would have helped us avoid many years of painful sex, bad ideas on sex, not understanding God's true meaning of sex. Even though we were virgins when we got married, you still don't understand everything if no one's talking to you.
Still affected a little bit by the purity culture that we were raised in. This course will also include a community area to chat and ask questions with other like-minded individuals in a safe area with no fear of judgment or ridicule.
Yeah, this community is meant to give our students peace, knowing that they are not alone in their beliefs, which is a common thing we hear about in our comments, and they build hope that the Christian singles can find an ideal Christian spouse. So many of you comment saying, I'm just hopeless in finding someone. Is there anyone else that is wanting to wait? Is there anyone else that values their body like God wants us to?
Again, that's what we're here for. We want to provide some hope in what to them seems hopeless. If it sounds like something you would be interested in, or maybe you know someone who you would like to gift this course to, then please visit the link in the description to sign up for our email list.
Our email list subscribers are going to be the first ones notified when our course goes live, and they will be the first ones that are able to purchase it.
Right, and this is something that we truly can't wait to get into the hands of young couples, and there's even going to be an option to add on one-on-one pre-marriage counseling sessions with us.
Yes, that's right. So
if
you
you
can get
think,
all your questions answered.
If you think you like what you hear from our videos and you would like a marriage that is centered around Christ like we consider ours to be, then this course is probably for you.
So to sum up our response to the question of this video, why do we talk about sex on YouTube?
Well, if it's not obvious already, let's go ahead and end this with a quote from a book called Love Thy Body, where the author says, "The loving way to treat young people is not to hand out contraceptives, which amounts to collusion and impersonal and ultimately unfulfilling sexual encounters. It's far more loving to inspire them with a higher view of sexuality."
This is exactly why we choose to talk about sex on our channel, to inspire, to let other singles and couples alike know that they can have an amazing married life if they truly understand the value of their own bodies and God's great design for sex.
If you like what you heard on today's video, then please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell where you will not miss any of our videos. And also, we love hearing from you guys.
We do. Please comment with your own thoughts and personal experience. We try to respond to every person, specifically Cody, most of the time, unless you directly say you would like Jesse to answer.
And again, as we stated, the entire world doesn't agree with our viewpoint on things, so YouTube does make it very difficult on us to make any money to help support this channel, to keep it going. So if you would like to support this channel to continue our ministry, especially on this topic, please check the link out in the description and head to our Patreon to support us. Thank y'all so much for watching. God bless you guys. We will see you on the next one.
Bye.